And it's Johnson who's got the start, and it's a slow start by Kevin Bond in the Camaro, and the cars are peeling around. And here's the view from Bobby Morris's car. Johnson who's away, and he doesn't want to be in any other position throughout the entire race. And he's got a long lead, and Brock is after him.
And Bartlett now up into third place after that run up the mountain.
Well, that shows the legs of the Camaro. He made up a lot of ground and passed 3 cars going up there, just in front of Johnny Harvey. Then it's Allan Grice next, who made a good start and is perfectly positioned. But it's Dick Johnson from Queensland, who for the first time draws the cheers of the crowd, and the Ford flags are out as they come flying up the top of the mountain on lap 1 of the Hardie-Ferodo 1000 for 1980.
Wait for the cheers from the crowd as they come across the top of the mountain on lap 1 of the great race for 1980, the Hardie-Ferodo 1000. You'll be able to see the spectators, absolutely placards waving, standing there cheering because a Ford's going to lead the first lap of this race. Bartlett is back into third place. Very poor start. But he's managed to displace Harvey, I think it is.
And Mike Raymond, an ominous sign for Allan Moffat fans, oil already appearing, whipping round the back. He had an oil leak in the practice session, which did no more than deposit oil on the exhaust pipe.
Wing back for the completion of the first lap. And it's Queensland's Dick Johnson who leads from Peter Brock. Next is Kevin Bartlett, followed by Allan Grice, John Harvey. Bobby Morris is the next one, 100 metres back to Charlie O'Brien, and the next is Larry Perkins, then followed by Garry Rogers and Allan Moffat blowing a pall of smoke. Back on to Conrad straight away. Watch the Avco Pepsi Camaro pull out. He's had enough of it. Dixon wants to get out of the way because Moffat, I don't think, will last another lap or so without getting the black flag. Some of the pit activity as the rear wheels come off.
Locking rear brakes was the problem, as we heard. There's the drum off.
Yes.
Well, Brock won the race by 6 laps last year, but I imagine now he's not saying, well, I've got 6 laps to spare. He'd be a very worried man. Mr. Cool of motor racing, but things aren't going well his way, and of course we have Kevin Bartlett with even earlier troubles with his...
Oh, we've had another bang, and is that the
Dick,
race?
that's the leader. Dick Johnson. Now, whether Dick has been hampered by the rescue truck here, which is out on the track, but he has gone into the fence. Dick Johnson, the leader, he's broken the left-hand front suspension. You can see by the way the car is leading down. Now, a rescue vehicle has been out to bring in one of the damaged vehicles. The officials are running back. I rather think that Dick came round the corner and found himself with an impossible situation. You can see them stimulating the flag marshal, saying, for heaven's sake, wave the flags. There's Bobby Morris came in, almost collected the front of the car, and the field is pouring through. The marshals are out now, waving down, trying to slow things. There's a rescue truck there. Johnson, the race leader, is out of the race. I can't see he can possibly fix it.
And the VW Golf of Chris Hire.
Gloves are on fire. That was like a refueling fire, and that was a big fire too. It was extinguished very, very quickly, but by goodness me, there was fire everywhere in the pits.
There was a great flash from the back of the car. The tank went. Now, they're the gloves of this man, I'd say, whether it's the driver or one of the pitmen.
Bob Morris will be getting out. And, we've got some damage here in the front corner. Damage in the front corner of the car here, so it's been a tough day for equipment here at Bathurst.
Up to the cutting. Through here. Now the steep climb up to the top of the mountain. And Jimmy Richards is a driver who has co-driven to victory here with Peter Brock twice previously. A great driver, one of the most underrated drivers in Australian motorsport. A very quiet man. He's certainly not outgoing, keeps to himself a lot, but they call upon him to do a job once a year for the Marlborough Holden dealer team, and that's be the winning co-driver.
We're just heading into Castrol Curb, coming up on that beautiful little Alpha Sud. We'll take him on the outside if he doesn't crush me. I got him. There are those 2 big monsters. Here I come. Look out, you big ugly things. Get out of the road, you big ugly thing. Come on, move! That's the problem with these small cars. They go so well, and you get these things that just hold you up. He's just holding me bog slow.
Kevin Bartlett's in the pits. Kevin, what happened with the Gemini on the top of the mountain?
Well, poor guy, he did make a wrong move. He signalled me through along the straight, along the top straight, and I went past was starting to go past him on the right-hand side, and he pulled over straight in front of me. And of course, with our stupid bloody CAMS rules not allowing us to have disc brakes in the back, this thing just doesn't stop. It's bloody dangerous out there without discs. And I just hit him and just rolled him. You know, sure, he made a mistake, but in a normal situation, I should have been able to slow up enough. This car doesn't stop, it slows up. That's the difference.
Peter, these Hardie-Ferodo 1000s, you make them look easy. What's your secret?
Get into a groove. You've got to get in the groove and stroke the car along. Just drive it along at such a speed that everything's happening very easily and very nicely, very sweetly. I try not to get involved in dicey with other cars. I try to run my own race. If necessary, I'll put the pressure on a few of them, have a bit of a dice with them to try to slow them down a bit, have a bit of fun. But generally, I like to get into that groove where I'm going apex, 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 change gears now, and try to make it so that I've got a little game with myself. So every time I don't do a lap time, that's a failure.
Hello, the K Power entry is running a bit short of steam, trying to head up the mountain. That's the Jag Parts entry. Yes, a little fogging of the windscreen there, a bit of heavy breathing. This great dice still continuing between Jimmy Richards in 05 and the Allan Grice Craven mild car. Take a look at the outright slowly for you. Number 5, of course, the leader. Jim Richards at the wheel at the moment, 160 laps completed. In second place is the Cadbury Schweppes Commodore of Peter Jansen and Larry Perkins from Victoria on 159. Then comes the Commodore of Pete Gagan and Golson on 156. They're in third place overall. In fourth is the Commodore of Alan Brown and Brian Sampson, the Recar Commodore. In sixth place, Charlie O'Brien and Garth Wigston and the Roadways Deutsch Commodore. In seventh place, we have Fred Geisler and Garry Rogers and another Commodore. It's getting monotonous. In eighth place, of course, the number 6 Commodore. That's Allan Grice and Johnny Smith that are trying at the moment to get unlapped from Jim Richards. In ninth place, overall, is the Alpha Couriers Ford Capri driven by Barry Seaton and Don Smith.
And the Recar of Ronnie Wantless is in 10th spot.
12th place, the 9 Camaro that sat on pole for today's race. Just look at this little dice continuing, though. We'll let the IBM computer punch up how everyone is placed on 160 laps, or those who have dropped out and the number of laps accredited to. I thought Richards was going to just ease off and let Grice or John Smith pass last lap, but as soon as they got up alongside each other, door handle to door handle along pit straightaway, it spurred Jimmy Richards on a little. Johnny Smith is at the wheel, of course, after that problem they had earlier when they wound up in the bunker at the end of Conrod Straight. But Johnny Smith trying to atone a little, I would think, at this stage, and trying to get inside of Jimmy Richards. Won't be too long before these flags come out. Here it comes, the checkered flag for Peter Brock and Jim Richards. Richards at the wheel. A great finish. Peter Brock now makes it 5 Hardie-Ferodo success.